Here's what happened. Round 15 of the FI Motocross World Championship. The MXGP of Sweden and Uddevalla. MX2 race 1. Sasha Kunin over the foxhole shot line for the 12th time. Guillaume Perez, who had to start to the outside because he did not finish the qualifying race. He emerged there. He's buried mid-pack just behind the rider in orange, Julius Mikkola. Mikkola had a moment here. He saved it. Perez was able to sneak by, but it was Kunin who led the way. Also in turn 3, as Perez made another mistake here early on from 7th down to 10th. Carlos Raceless and Valerio Latta also fell on the opening lap. Eventually, Simon Langenfelder got the better of Kai Karsmakers, but by then the gap ahead of him in the top 4 positions were already well gone. McClellan, his persistence paid off, forced a mistake from Janis Raceless. That put him up into 3rd in the latter stages of the race. Sasha Kunin, though, was kind of in a world of his own. Pretty much led. In fact, he did lead every single one of the 17 laps on offer. He went on to win from Everts, McClellan, Janis Raceless and Langenfelder. Perez, the championship leader, was 6th.
Bra resa när man kan dra Teroff efter målgång.
Ja. Han var ju otroligt pepp, du sa det Ola också.
Aldrig någon som fick ett slagläge så lyckades han öka lite igen och då blir det så här bra. Ja. Lite någonstans.
MX2 race 2 got underway, and it was a flying start once again for Sasha Kunin. Back-to-back black plates here today for the Belgian on the Red Bull KTM. Liam Evans just behind him. Simon Langenfelder to the outside on the number 1. Langenfelder initially in that 2nd position. Camden McClellan in 4th. Great bit of riding for Kai Karsmakers up the inside as he moved into 5th position with a pass on Julius Mikkola. But Perez buried in around about 12th or 13th place through the first few corners. And it was impressive what he did on the opening couple of laps just to get himself back into contention. Talk about damage limitation in terms of points. This battle here, though, didn't end well for Kai Karsmakers. He was dumped out of 5th position. 2 into 1 did not go as he challenged the number 8 of the Camden McClellan. McClellan eventually found his way up the inside with some hard riding on Simon Langenfelder. That put him into 3rd on lap 2. Perez fighting his way for every single point, forced his way down the inside of 772. Janis Raceless, that was for 5th on lap 3. He then went around the outside of Langenfelder to move into 4th on lap 15 of 18. The gap between Sasha Kunin and Liam Everts was no more than this throughout the entire race, but it was Sasha Kunin who went on to win the race from Everts and McClellan. There was a mistake late on from Guillaume Perez. He was in 4th, he picked himself up in 4th, but that was a warning sign for him just to back it off, take those 18 points and keep that championship gap to 24 points over Sasha Kunin, who was absolutely fantastic here in Sweden. He went 1-1, Everts 2-2, McClellan 3-3. That's how it finished in the race and in the Grand Prix here in Sweden.
Snart blir det rutin.
Absolut. Är det 2
Gripper Whole Shot Night i fredags på Kylie Wolves dräparbike.
Ja, vi ska försöka klämma till det. Uddevalla GP.
Yeah, really happy with the riding I did on Sunday. On Saturday I was a bit off, but yeah, I managed to turn it around on Sunday, and dealing with the pressure on both models was kind of difficult, but yeah, really happy with the result, and yeah, I bounced back, let's say.
MXGP race 1, gates 1 and 4 over on our right-hand side. Jeffrey Hurlings and Tom Vial, but it was Adamo who snuck across and grabbed the foxhole shot. He ran wide, Hurlings snuck up the inside of Vial, and it was he who led as we hit turn 2. Vial was there in 2nd, Jonas there in 3rd, but he was quickly past the Frenchman to move into 2nd as far as the 3rd turn. And that was a crucial pass for the Kawasaki rider as well. Vial there in 3rd, Adamo in 4th position. And then a couple of places further back, we had Roman Fevre and Geiser. Geiser went around the outside here on the opening lap, found his way past the number 1. And then, a couple of laps later, he made this mistake. He'd already had 1 or 2 warning times before then, but that was Geiser going out of 5th. He picked himself up in 9th, and that's eventually where he would finish. Despite his efforts, Roman Fevre couldn't quite find his way past Andrea Adamo. but he had to wait till a little bit later on in the race, and that came with just under 2 laps to go. Twice he tried at the top of the hill. Eventually the pass came down at the bottom of the hill through turn 5, but he couldn't do anything about Vial. Jeffrey Hurlings was sensational, picking up his 13th race win of the season ahead of Jonas, Vial, Fevre and Adamo.
Superman I starten nästan över på ena sidan och det var krock ut. Han kommer ligga där och mata med den. Så är det bara.
Slutade på. Så där finns det potential.
MXGP race 2, and there was an explosive start. Calvin Verlanderen in the red helmet came together here with Isaac Gifting. Verlanderen went down hard with 1 or 2 of the riders. Gifting was in the barriers, but it was Roman Fevre who led coming through the first couple of corners, but it was Vial who actually was credited with a foxhole shot. Geiser emerged in second, but not for long. Jeffrey Hurlings up the inside in turn 3, and before the lap was done, Hurlings took advantage of a midline choice for Fevre, snuck up the inside, took over the lead on that opening lap. Fernandez got the better of Paul Jonas later on in the race on lap 2 to move into 4th place. And Vial also found his way past the number 41 as he chased down a top 5 position. That was for 5th on lap 3. Then we had the 2 Hondas there, and that was the pass that Vial put on his teammate Fernandez. That put him into 4th. That was also early on in the race, but there were all kinds of battles going on here. This was Bonacorsi up the inside of Paul Jonas. This was the reason for the red flag. Kevin Brumman landing on Jago Geerts. And so, as a result of that, Jeffrey Hurlings was credited with the race win. Fevre crossed the line 2nd, Geiser 3rd, Vial 4th, Fernandez 5th. The overall Grand Prix belonged to Jeffrey Hurlings going 1-1, Fevre going 4-2, Vial 3-4. Jonas and Geiser rounded out the top 5 here in Sweden.
Om det blir något. Stora berget ligger ändå på plus här nu, så att det är inte läge att börja flyga. Och det betyder också fortfarande 469 poäng efter. Det kan bli tufft att hämta in det, men 75 poäng efter. Det kommer inte flyga här.
Håkan Lema, Ola, så mycket.
Definitely gives me a lot of confidence, especially going to my home race. So I like to go, to have a Dutch GP, and I practice there a lot. I raced there a lot in the past, so I'm very happy to return home, and hopefully I can do the same thing and win and make the Dutch fans proud. And but at the same time, we have to now slowly start thinking about the championship. We got 4 races left, so no risk on that side. But once again, I want to give it to Honda, AC Petronas for the great job, and see all the Dutchies next weekend.